Okay, so the solution to problem 1 from our sample test questions. This is going to be a pretty quick one, just to show the steps of the Euclidean algorithm for the integers 144 and 55. So I've even got them all on a single slide here. We want to start with the larger of our two integers, 144, and ask how many times does 55 go into 144? So every single one of these steps is pretty elementary, so you can double check. 55 goes twice into 144 with remainder 34. And for the next step of the calculation, I take the previous integer, which was 55. That's now my large integer. I take the previous remainder. That's now my small integer. So in step 2, I ask how many times does 34 go into 55? And it will only go in once with a remainder of 21. That's step 2. Step 3, my new large integer is 34. My new small integer is 21, right? I just bring these down and I say, how many times does 21 go into 34? It goes in once with remainder 13. I'm using the same logic every single time, so I'll not waste your time. You can see that I'm just bringing these numbers down every single time. And I picked this example so that we get remainders of ones the whole way through. This is just, again, Fibonacci numbers. The interesting bit comes here at the end when I have 3 as my large number and 2 as my small number, 2 being the remainder of trying to put 3's into 5. At this point, I say that 3 is 1 times 2 with a remainder of 1. And now the last step of the Euclidean algorithm, if you ever get a 1 as your remainder, the last step is kind of a formality because you know that, well, in this case, 2 is equal to 2 times 1 with a remainder of 0. So if you ever get a 1 here, you know that your next remainder is 0 no matter what, because 1 is a factor of every integer. So this entire list is what I would be looking for on showing the steps of the Euclidean algorithm. And for your exam, if this was on the exam, I would need to see these steps from you for full marks. But you wouldn't need to justify to show me your calculator works. Like, oh, this is the reason why 144 is twice 55 plus 34. You can just leave the equations like I've done here. All right, well, I hope that's what you got. Let me know if you have any questions regarding problem number 1.